Hello, I'm Sean Oslin. I'm a data scientist in the United States, and I will be teaching the introductory course in Tableau. A little bit more about me. I have degrees from the University of Michigan and the University of Washington. I spent about 25 years working in health administration and transitioned over to data science about 4 years ago. Currently, I work with my company, Booz Allen Hamilton, as a contractor with the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention in the United States on their COVID-19 response. So just what is data visualization? Well, first, it's an interdisciplinary field. And by that, I mean there are people from working in healthcare, people working in the sciences, people working in public policy, who all are creating visualizations, and they're also helping push the field forward by creating innovative new designs and learning new techniques. So there's really not a field in the world nowadays that doesn't use visualization in some way. It just communicates better than just simply talking to people or presenting them with numbers. Data visualization also is, by its very name, presents data in a graphic format. Now that doesn't mean everything has to be a graph. You can also use tables too. As a matter of fact, there's often, I have found in my experience that employers want to have both the graph that shows things as well as the data table so they can look at the data as well. Another key point about data visualization is that it's taking complex data and trying to create it, recreate it in a format to adjust, to transform it in such a way that we can actually generate information from that, and from the information we can create actionable tasks that we can do that will either move our business forward or address a problem or something else. And last but not least, data visualization is about storytelling. We have all this data up here, and then we need to put it together with other data. And then we need to say, this is what it's telling us. This is what we want to communicate. This is what the actions we need to take. So it's not enough to just create pictures with the data. We need to actually make it actionable. We need to be able to say, we've come from here, we're going here. And that's really the meat of data visualization. It's about what is the story we're trying to tell? What are the actions we are trying? So what is good data visualization? There's a lot of bad data visualization out there, and I'll actually show you some examples of that. But probably the key point of data visualization, good data visualization, is it meets the needs of your audience. And I'm gonna say this over and over as we go through the course. It's like, you really need to understand who your audience is and what they're looking for. So you really should ask for feedback during the development process. The last thing you want to do is spend months working on a data visualization, and then you get and roll it out and people say, that's not what we were looking for. The best thing to do is to talk to them, talk to the people in charge as much as you can, if you can get access to them, as you go, and so you're actually meeting their needs. Another thing is it's not about you, it's about your audience. So don't be too clever, don't go off and create some nifty new graph that looks really cool, but is not that easy to read. Just make sure that your audience really can understand it quickly, because they're not spending as much time with the data as you are. They need to really understand what it is that you're trying to communicate to them. Again, it's about storytelling. Good data visualization will also communicate with a minimum amount of complexity. Now you're already taking all this raw data, massive amounts of raw data, and you need to condense it down. But you need to make sure that you're condensing it down far enough that people can then make some understanding of it. But you can't make it too small either. You can't aggregate the data until it says nothing. So it's kind of a balance. And if you're not, if you don't understand your subject, you're not a subject matter expert, you're going to need to work with people who do understand the data as you go. In my experience, I have worked on several projects where honestly, I did not understand what it was that I was working on. I was not a subject matter expert in the area, and I had to continually ask for help from people saying, is this meeting your needs? Are you getting what you want? I don't understand what this means. Is this right? Do I need to join this variable with this variable? It's like, so I was like, all right, is this too much detail or is it not enough detail? And you just have to work with people because they often don't even know what it is that they want. So you have to kind of lead them through the process. Also keep in mind that if you're presenting a graphic at a meeting, that your audience is going to need to learn how to read it. There's going to be a learning curve involved for them. So again, you need to make it as simple as possible for them to comprehend the data rapidly. And if you need to have more complex backup material or things where you're drilled down into the data, you can have that as supplemental material. But again, you need to think of it, if it's being presented at a meeting for the first time, think of it like as a summary. Another thing that good data visualization does is it helps you explain concepts that are too complicated to show in words. Maybe you can actually demonstrate them through a graph, and the audience will comprehend it many times as quickly as they would if you were to just speak to them or to put it down on the printed page as text. Finally, good data visualization is ethical. You are telling the truth. And it's very, very important that you keep it in mind when you are building a data visualization. It's like, is this an actual representation of the truth? Am I skewing the data to make it look like it's something that it's not? It's like, and honestly, that's very easy to do, and it does happen, and I'll give you some examples of this, but you need to think about your personal integrity when you're building something to make sure that what you're showing is sort of a representation of the truth.